What's up guys, it's Red back once again, and there's a lot of info to talk to you guys about, so let's just jump right into all of this. Now, just in case everyone is not up to speed, I will do my best to catch everyone up. So for a while now, Vergeben has been talking about these 7 names that he has heard for the Square Enix DLC character. Well, recently those names got out and have been circulating. This user, PolarPanda from SmashBoards, was apparently in contact with Vergeben and discussing a bunch of things, including the names he had heard. Now, those names were released to the public and they were Sephiroth, Chrono, 3 Dragon Quest characters in Slime, Erdrick, and the hero from Dragon Quest XI, Geno, and Sora. Now those names have, as I said, been circulating for a bit now, so that's not too huge of an update. But from there, PolarPanda goes into further detail saying that, okay, here's what I will do. I'm not sharing these DMs. Sephiroth, Chrono, and Dragon Quest characters are the 3 he, Vergeben, has heard most. The Dragon Quest characters include Erdrick, Luminary, who is the Dragon Quest XI protagonist, and Slime. He only heard Slime from one person. That's 5 of the characters right there. Geno is the 6th. He's heard Geno, but he was told to not take him too seriously. The 7th character, Sora, he said was told to him was not in the game. If Geno was deconfirmed, he would have said the same thing he did with Sora. So in total, the names are Sephiroth, Chrono, Dragon Quest reps, Geno, and Sora, who is not in. So this is the gist of what Vergeben's info seems to be around the 7 names. Okay, so now that we have this new player, PolarPanda, in the mix, I think it's important that we clarify who this person is and why they are important. So Panda, as I said, was the person who name dropped the list that Vergeben had, and that has been proven via screenshots in DMs with various important users. Now Panda understands the need to be upfront, so from what I have gathered, he has proven his identity to various long-standing members of SmashBoards, including former moderators, and he has done that by giving them his face, his real name, as well as proof and the names of his sources that he is working with. And he maintains that his source is not a low-level employee of Nintendo, but an ambassador at Nintendo of America. The former moderators at SmashBoards have again vouched for this. And these are users that have been on SmashBoards for 13 years now, with high reputation among the SmashBoards community, which is why they were the ones chosen to help verify Panda's information. Panda is a frequent poster at SmashBoards and has never once been called out by the moderators when they do typically intervene in a case where someone might indeed be a giant fraud. So all things considered, this user Panda seems to have their ducks in a row and has most likely access to a higher up source, as well as having the trust of Vergeben to be able to talk to him via direct message frequently. Alright, so now you're up to speed on the gist of who Panda is and why his word is so important in this case. Now let's get to an update that was provided just recently by Panda, this screenshot from his source, the ambassador at Nintendo of America. Got some news today, first on Isaac. Isaac was always going to be an assist trophy regardless of his popularity. During the start of development, Isaac was made as an assist. A Mii Fighter outfit was made due to appease the small group of Golden Sun fans. The only way Isaac would have been a fighter would be if Camelot made another Golden Sun. Sakurai still only wants to focus on fighters from existing series. Duck Hunt, Rob, etc., even if they don't have a series, are a part of Nintendo history. Nintendo of America was taken aback at the disappointment of the assist trophies, and they didn't think people would be that angry over Isaac not being playable. So sadly, Isaac was doomed from the start. You want Isaac in Smash, we've got to get Golden Sun back as a game first. Regarding the Geno rumor, the only thing I have heard about the DLC is assist trophies are staying assist trophies. Wave 1 is the focus. If it does well and Sakurai thinks him and team can make a balanced DLC to avoid a situation like Bayo in Smash 4, a Wave 2 could happen. However, don't hold your breath. Nothing new on Geno. Sabi is trying to find info from leakers or insiders. Other than that, that's all I got for now. And to clarify, the Sabi that the ambassador is adding in this post is actually Panda's Discord username. So as an Isaac fan myself, that right there is a lot to process, so let's work our way through it. Now, the thought that Isaac would be brought back as a trophy regardless of his popularity is something I can kind of get when thinking about it. Initially, I thought there's no way that they would have brought Isaac back without him having done extremely well on the ballot. But I'm almost certain Ray MK3 or any custom Robo presence on the ballot was minuscule at best, and yet he also returned in the form of a Mii costume. So if anything, Isaac likely was a planned assist trophy from the start, and somewhere along the way, maybe a costume was added in as extra swag. So as much as it pains me to think that, I can honestly see the logic and see it being the case. Now, the part about Isaac needing another Golden Sun game to get in kinda confuses me a little bit, since Between Brawl and Smash 4 was when Golden Sun Dark Dawn was released, and yet not only was Isaac not included in that roster, but he was excluded from the entire game. Now granted, that was years ago and the situations could have been vastly different. Maybe Isaac didn't have as much vocal support back then as he does now in current times. The fact that it was an older adult version of Isaac in Dark Dawn might have dissuaded them from wanting to include younger Isaac in Smash. Or it just could have been something as simple as them just not even considering it. So we don't know what the situation was at that time. So while it is kind of confusing, we just don't know the facts to wrap our heads around that part. Now the fact that Nintendo of America was so taken aback is probably a good thing. It means they likely got a lot of feedback from Golden Sun fans and they saw just how passionate of a community that we have. This could bode well in the future since now more than ever, regardless of how well Isaac did on the ballot, Nintendo most likely knows Isaac has support out there. And as for the part about DLC, I think it was pretty much a given for most people that assist trophies had no chance of being upgraded in the first DLC pass, so I don't think that's too much of a surprise for anyone. Now some extra things to note about Panda's source, the ambassador, is that apparently he is a huge Isaac fan, which is why he's gone so far out of his way for Isaac information in particular. In addition to that, the source knew that both Skull Kid and Nightmare were assist trophies months in advance, which adds further on top of his credibility. Now, here are some other tidbits from Panda himself that occurred over both the Geno and Isaac support group threads on SmashBoards. I believe I posted it before, but assist trophies are not going to be playable at all in Wave 1, that's for sure. And as mentioned in the past, Wave 2 hasn't been discussed at all yet. If there is a Wave 2, it's undecided. So assist trophies have a chance if we were to get a second wave. The Fighter Pass will not include any characters who are assist trophies. Mii costumes might have a very slim chance, but since he was told their compensation, I'd be incredibly skeptical of any Mii costume characters being in this Fighter Pass. Now this is a bit of news that will be a bit worrying for any Rex fans who still have faith in him out there. I've held firm that I think Rex's Mii costume completely deconfirms him, since I just cannot envision them putting all that work into his costume, locking him behind a paywall for the DLC, and then turning around and making him a full-fledged character in the DLC paywall that he's locked behind. That logic just doesn't seem to make any sense at all to me. And Panda here seems to say that his source was told that Mii costumes were referred to as compensation, aka sorry your character isn't getting in, have just this costume instead. So with that in mind, it just furthers my belief that Rex in particular is 100% out of the running, and it seems like all the current Mii costumes will be as well. Nintendo hasn't been thinking of assist trophies as a bad thing. To be honest, in Smash 4 the backlash to assist trophies was much smaller. Isaac was a cut assist trophy, so they saw people were worried about his assist trophy being cut and brought it back. Truly, the best thing to do is push the narrative that assist trophies are just a graveyard and that it upsets people. That and they only see massive demand most of the time. While Isaac demand is huge, it didn't reach them nearly as well as the Ridley and K. Rool demands. Isaac fans just need to be more vocal at Nintendo and need to be more vocal for a new game. Again, this doesn't surprise me that much either. Looking back at Smash 4, it's true, there wasn't nearly as much outrage for the assists as there are now. I don't know what the reason for that in particular is, as some big names back then were still cucked, like Shadow, Waluigi, Ashley, and Skull Kid. So there were still fan favorites getting cucked, but it's been super apparent by just paying attention to social media this time around that people have been way more outraged at the assist trophies. Now, it could be a case where more people this time around were simply voicing their concerns on social media and it causing a bigger splash. I think it has become apparent to Nintendo that the majority of fans in the West don't have the same outlook on assist trophies as they do, so that is certainly at the very least good news in my opinion. Now, as far as Isaac's demand not being as much as King K. Rool or Ridley, that's honestly a no-brainer, but I think the Isaac and Golden Sun fanbase can still make enough noise for a potential Season 2 DLC pass. Now guys, I'll give my overall thoughts. I've got to be honest with you. I spent 4 to 5 hours reading through all of the forum posts about this so I could give an educated opinion on this information to you guys, and I've gotta say I really feel like Panda is legit. After reading all of his posts, he comes across as a super genuine person that is just trying to keep the community clued in. He goes in depth with his thoughts and answers, but not so in depth that he puts his source in danger to the public. I really believe that the information he's bringing to the table seems legit, and I'm going to keep my eyes out for anything new he's going to be bringing to the table, because so far I think this is one of the most genuine people that has entered the Smash League speculation scene. Now, I've tried to give my general commentary on most of these points, but if you guys still want to get any more of my thoughts on this stuff, my Discord server is open and will be on screen and in the description below. Feel free to swing by and ask me anything. My previous videos are on screen as well if you have time to check them out. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications on for more future content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.